Hey, welcome to Sounds Like Liberty. This is episode number 34, and I am your host, Lizzie P, with my fabulous co-host, Mr. Nicky P. What's up?
Well, I am just enjoying streaming this from the Launchpad Media, always launching ideas in your direction.
Indeed.
It's a good group of people we got over here, let me just say.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun podcasts. You should check out the feed.
Absolutely should check out the feed. So, anyways, we are here today with, we got some fun stuff coming up here.
Sure do.
All right, so let's start with, we got some song to tear apart, Liz.
Yep. As always, we got
a quick one here, I think, too.
Yeah.
This is going to be, it's on the nose, but not on the nose as far as I'm concerned, okay? So, what are we looking at?
Is this the Leslie Gore number?
It is the Leslie Gore number. You said you wanted to do it.
Okay, fair enough. You don't own me. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen First Wives Club, which I'm guessing most of the male listeners haven't, but
what the fuck is First Wives Club?
It's Diane Keaton, Bette Midler, and Goldie Hawn before the bad plastic surgery, playing
Poor
first
Kurt
wives
Russell.
that get left. Yeah. What are you gonna do? They're still together. It's all right.
I guess it's that.
All right. So, shall we just jump on in?
Yeah, let's go right in.
Okay. You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm imagining that she's looking at the state instead of a man for this.
Right.
This is the angle I'm coming from.
You know what? I
but
don't
even
necessarily want to live my life by that particular philosophy. Don't say that I can't make my own choices.
Exactly.
And don't tell me what to do, and don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me on display.
Why not?
Because you don't know me. So don't try and change me in any way. And you don't own me. Don't tie me down, because I'll never stay. You know, it would be awesome if the state wouldn't tell. Well, I guess the state isn't telling us everything about what to do and what to say.
No, they are.
They're getting pretty darn close.
And like they act like people won't leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the thing. So we're getting to a place where we're having some serious economic issues in our country, and people are acting as if people won't leave and go to another country that looks at them better. And like when you're just talking about redistributing everybody's wealth.
Yeah.
You know, no, you need to be better. You need to change. Human beings are the way human beings are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and yeah, absolutely. The people who have the resources to could absolutely get the hell up and leave.
Well,
especially if you're going to try and take 70% of their income.
Well,
or
that's
some
the
shit.
bit. Well, they're talking even more about some parts of your income, and they're also talking about wealth now too, like not just taxing income.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Like 2% of all the shit you hold.
That's just troubling.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it. So, what's funny is like you said, all the people in Venezuela are the people that couldn't afford to get the fuck out of Venezuela right now.
Right, absolutely. The people who have enough money that you think you're going to take the money and redistribute it to the poor people, they're the ones who can up and leave.
In other words, all the capitalists left, and now they're only left with the commies who are going to continue voting for the crap that they already had.
Basically, and just keeps going downward until, I don't know,
so really
happens.
Bad for that situation. I feel worse for it if we weren't in our own situation, just further back on the trajectory.
Yeah, and people just trying to like, no, let's go that way.
I don't tell you what to say. I don't tell you what to do. So just let me be myself. That's all I ask of you.
And that's just it in a nutshell. And it's like it would just be nice if we could do our libertarian thing over here or our anarchist thing over here, whatever thing we want to do over here, and you guys want to have a little commune over there, you go ahead.
It's always what I bring up with my friend is like, I'm the asshole when their worldview doesn't account for me. My worldview does account for them.
Right, yeah. Have your little pocket of, whatever you believe Nirvana is. Just leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, it's terrible, yes. All right, she's young and loves to be loved. She's free, and I love to be free. To live my life the way I want. To say and do whatever I please.
It's not that hard, people. It's very simple.
And there's a bunch of repeating stuff here.
There's a bunch of it. That's basically
obviously we're taking a few liberties with the song,
yeah.
But I think the principle still stands. At the end of the day, like a lot about libertarianism is just the self-ownership. It's about being who you are and owning that, and understanding that there is an individual in place. Like that's the key concept that I think even modern economics and communism and socialism, all that shit, they ignore the fact that there is an actual thinking, acting human being inside of each one of us that's going to go and do its own thing.
Yep.
So, where do you want to put it on the scale?
I would put it somewhere between Lou Bega and Eric July, I think.
Well, we don't have a graded scale.
There's no middle ground.
It's okay, Liz. I'm going to give it a Lou Bega.
You got to give it a Lou Bega. That's fair.
It is in fact a song about a woman, from a woman to a man.
Yeah.
We won't even get into all of the the points of the song, or like the female liberation movement within the broader context of American history either. Because the lyrical content of this does fascinate me, given the time period in which it came out. Mm-hmm. But that is a long conversation. For
another day.
Perhaps. Or you can just message me on the Facebooks. And,
you love having long conversations on the Facebook.
Ignoring all of my responsibility and my family and everything that should be important, I just...
No.
Just sit down on the Facebook talking to people that don't matter.
That Facebook's together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to get the kid a Facebook, right?
Oh, God.
All right.
So I'll stand by that, Lou Bega.
Right on. Let's move on to I Heard This Happened. Welcome to I Heard This Happened, the segment for aging hipsters. Each week we scour Bandcamp for underground new releases to wow your teenage children. So without further ado, here's new music. All right, so you want to start this week, or you want me to?
Either way is good.
I'll go. I'm a little excited about this.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we have first appearance by G.S. Schray out of Akron, Ohio. So this is a local guy. I'm probably going to have to reach out.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
The album came out on the 25th of January. It has 8 tracks, and I'm going to label the genre as atmospheric.
I would agree with that, atmosphere.
So the description I'm going to give is, imagine if Vince Geraldi got way into 80s synth pop and started listening to the Sea and Cake and indie movie scores exclusively.
Okay.
Okay? All right. My favorite track is District Lizards. Mm-hmm. The record is downright elegant. Meanders through all sorts of sonic spaces. It's a literal cave of wonders in its ambient marvels.
Nice. I like the
Isn't
way
that fancy?
You put that. It's very fancy. Yeah. Getting all poetic over there.
Yeah. The understatement of the drums through most of the record really points out how it really points out when they do become important. They pop in and out of the tracks in it's kind of just the right places. There's not a lot of drums, so it's when you hear them, there's a reason you hear them. And in the same way that they treat those drums, every few measures there's some new element or some new melodic line that takes over. The whole thing just ebbs and flows, very smooth, and both the instrumental and dynamic shifts are all pretty fucking awesome.
Nice.
So congratulations to G.S. Schray, man. This is a sweet disc. I've listened to it a couple times since I found it. What do you got for us this week, Liz?
All right. The artist is called Lissikeyj. The album is Shakes. from Washington. I'm not really sure what the official genre was. I thought of it as smooth jazz because it reminded me of like Boney James meets Rufus Wainwright with like some other slightly random jazzy ideas in there. There's a little bossa nova number that actually kind of starts the whole thing. But I liked the sound of it. It was really smooth, and I was in the mood for smooth. And the vocalist, he comes in on the title song "Shakes," and he sounds just eerily like Rufus Wainwright. It's kind of bizarre. Like I was wondering if it was a sample. It was really interesting.
Was it a sample?
I don't know. I did look for information. I did not find information about that. I would be really curious to find out if this was just a combination of things, because it is at different points sort of a conglomeration of some different styles of jazz and R&B. But it could definitely be a band that I would follow
I think
up
it's
with.
probably not, in that I kind of thought it was a little amateurish of an album.
I mean, it could be just somebody trying on a lot of different sounds that they happen to like.
Do you like a lot of sounds, Liz?
I like a lot of sounds. But yeah, it came out on the 3rd, so what, today-ish, right? But yesterday.
It was yesterday. I think it's the 4th, maybe.
No, it's the 3rd. Came out today.
Oh, it came out today.
Yeah.
You found
so
something this morning.
Yeah.
While I was sleeping. While you were sleeping, eh? All right. Let's get on with that interview. So, I just want to point out we got a chance to talk to Eric Heiler.
It was very cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was a different conversation than I think we've had in a while. It got a little wild at times. Maybe some places that I don't often go with Liz around. The creepy places.
That's all right. It was a good conversation.
It was.
And we like to go to all the places.
And Eric's a good guy. He is over at the Rebel with a Cause podcast, and it was a lot of fun talking to him.
Yeah.
Just a reminder before we actually get to the interview, if you are new, why don't you go sign up for the newsletter over at ancapmusic.com. If you're interested in a more community-driven kind of experience, we have the Freedom Choir you can sign up for. We've got memberships as low as, like, if you get a year for the lowest tier, it's like, what, I think $10 maybe $9. Something ludicrously cheap.
That headspace, yeah.
You know, $1 a month, like, all the way up to $10 a month. If you the $10 a month, you actually get the Freedom Song 365 project as part of the deal. Which
it's pretty legit.
You should totally go check out the Freedom Song 365 project. If you like music and liberty, I stand by it. We've been getting good reviews of it from the people in the program. Then now you can check that out at freedomsong365.com. But let's move on with that barbecue.
Right on.
Barbecue podcast. Check it. So, I don't think Liz has any idea who you are. So this is going to be even more fun.
Awesome. I'm a mystery.
There you go.
He's an enigma, Liz.
Yep.
You heard that. And I'm an enigma, so she's got a bunch of enigmas floating around her now.
I can dig it. I'm okay with this. It's like a little adventure.
Let me see.
Yes.
Well, it's all good. I don't bite hard.
Fair enough.
Stealing an Austin Powers moment there he was.
Was that Austin Powers? Nice.
Yeah.
I don't bite hard. You never watch the Austin Powers movies, Liz?
It has been a very long time.
All right.
Classics that they were.
You keep talking, Liz.
Check.
Okay, yeah, you were real quiet for some reason.
Huh? Okay.
All right. Well, welcome to the Sounds Like Liberty podcast there, Eric. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for inviting me on.
Oh, I like to I'd like to see all the movers and shakers on here. It's the goal.
Super excited to have you on.
Yeah. Why don't you regale us with a little bit about who you are and how you got into this whole Liberty thing?
Who I am and how I got into Liberty. Well, that's a tall order.
Yeah, you can keep it the Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes version. All right. So just real simply, my name is Eric Heiler. I am the elections chair for the Libertarian Party of Louisiana, and I too also have a podcast called Rebel with a Cause.
Oh, nice.
Anywhere that you get your podcatchers. And so the Cliff Notes version of how I came into Liberty was already kind of libertarian leaning. Then Ron Paul happened, and it gave it a name. So I think that's how a lot of us came to it. So
it's not how I did, but I like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, with notable exceptions.
So, so what is Rebel with a Cause about?
Well, it kind of started as I was going to take a couple of news topics and then just kind of filter them through the NAP and property rights, and then I would always do kind of like a local story for Louisiana, but I quickly got bored of that, so I kind of changed it up where I was just going to grab some topics, maybe something out of the news and do some things. And this past week, I got hit with the stupid stick a whole bunch of times, and I decided I was going to record every single day. So you're now podcast number 7. So
wow.
I'm never doing this again.
If it makes you feel any better, I listened to every episode this week.
Awesome. Thank you.
So it wasn't completely without value.
Right.
How much value, I think, is kind of up to you, but...
Right. Like I said in my last episode, the experiment was a failure, except I did it. So I guess it wasn't too much of a failure, but...
I mean, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but like on Friday night, I did 6 hours worth of like singing. So when you reach those measly little 2.5 hours of talking in a week, I was a little like, really? Really, bro? That's too much for you? You couldn't talk that long?
Numbers.
Exactly.
You gotta pump those numbers up.
Anyways, yeah, you gave a very Cliff Notes version of how you got to this.
Well, that's what you asked.
I did ask for it. That's key.
Games, please.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, so if you've never listened, and I never take for granted that anybody has, we're a little bit different. Liberty is important, but I think getting to know people as people is even more important. So, what we do on Sounds Like Liberty is we talk to prominent libertarians or people that I just feel like talking to about their tastes in music.
Yeah, I've heard what is it? Probably since the last month and a half. Started listening to yours because it just came in with the Launchpad Media feed.
Oh, nice.
I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give them a try.
I didn't even see that number then.
Yep.
So, let's start with the real basics. What kind of music are you into?
Well, let's see. Metal, hardcore metal, maybe some Norwegian black metal, and we'll just throw in some 1980s punk in there just for some spice.
Well, the Norwegian black metal is probably the one that I'm going to get most out of the metal, but that's not exactly all that abnormal. I feel like there's basically 2 types of music that people in the libertine movement listen to, and that's metal and prog.
Metal and prog.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and then there's just random people like me that like musicals.
Or Bob Murphy listens to musicals and the Beatles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Bob Murphy is a huge Beatles fan. So
if you haven't listened, you should go listen to his episode. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Bob is very funny. All right. So, where do we usually take it, Liz? What are we thinking today?
Well, I mean, before we go there, I'm curious. Like, what bands do you have specific bands that you like in the many types of metal that you prefer?
Yeah. So let's see.
Just Megadeth.
Yes, Megadeth. That's one of them.
Well, no, just Megadeth, right? Like that's all you listen to.
Just Megadeth. I do have every album.
That's an inside joke that you're not privy to. I'm sorry. Yeah, I used to be in a band with this guy, and he wanted to fuck with one of the girls at work. And so she asked him, so what kind of music do you listen to? And he responds with Megadeth. And she's like, well, what else? And he's like, no, just Megadeth.
Just Megadeth.
She was very, very taken aback by it.
There you go.
It is such an odd answer to get. It's
Exactly.
Like, that's it? Just the one band?
I don't know how anyone can listen to that much Dave Mustaine, but, whatever.
Yeah, good in small doses. I mean,
Hello, me, it's
Symphony of Destruction, and that's pretty much it,
That's about it, huh?
Personally, I prefer the reggae version of Symphony of Destruction, but...
Oh, now I'm going to be doing a deep dive on reggae versions of metal songs.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah.
for that.
I can't even remember the guy's name. There's a YouTube personality who goes and redoes songs, and he'll take the actual vocals, strip away all the music, and then redo the music himself. And there is a legit amazing version of Symphony of Destruction, as a reggae song.
Yeah, it's a magic carpet ride.
It is.
Yeah, there for a little while I was getting kind of deep into the rock mashups. There's this DJ from Austria, and he would do a whole bunch of just different rock songs or a rock and a pop song and get them to mix together. And it was almost sounded too good, like it was supposed to happen that way. There was one, it was Europe's The Final Countdown and Smells Like Teen Spirit together.
Nice.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that those two songs would actually mix together, but it was done so well. I actually want to try and perform that on stage one of these days.
Well, have you ever listened to the mashup of Iron Maiden and the Monkees?
Yes.
I'm a Trooper. That one always got me.
That's another one where you're just kind of sitting there, your jaw's hitting the floor the entire time you're listening to it. It's like, who spent the time?
Yeah, it's too good.
to get all this together.
So you said you want to play it on stage. Are you a performer yourself?
I used to be. Back when I was in high school, now 20 years ago, we had a little band, but it never kind of really took off anywhere. So I played guitar and bass.
Nice. There's more work in bass.
Yeah, because you got to be creepy and weird on the bass. That's the bass.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Yeah. That's been my MO for most of my life.
Well, I think you get more work that way, frankly, because the lead guitar player doesn't want you showing him up, right? So.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So, anyways, throw a couple more things on us there.
All right, so other bands. So Merciful Fates.
Ooh, nice. Classic.
Yeah, classic. Slayer. Everyone likes Slayer, I think.
Sure.
I do.
Pantera back in the day. Let's see. Some of the modern stuff I listen to. So it'd be Black Label Society. And there's a band right now that has some stuff, but I can't remember the name of them. And now I'm drawing a blank on the name of a song.
I didn't hear 12-Foot Ninja in there, so he's not...
Yeah, no 12-Foot Ninja, no Five Finger Death Punch.
Are those guys actually metal? Is that what we
do? Five Finger Death
them?
Punch? No, Five Finger Death Punch is garbage.
It's not metal. It's garbage. Okay.
It could be worse. It could be Ghost. The Nickelback of black metal. Right?
I can't remember. So I was talking to somebody recently, and they were like, I don't understand Ghost. And I'm like, me neither.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I have a lot of friends, a lot of my friends from college that were into Ghost, and I'm like, okay.
It's like, you listen to this? Really?
That is what it is. I'd rather, if we're listening to that kind, the stuff from overseas, I'd rather listen to something like In Flames or, I don't know, pretty much anything other than Ghost.
Yeah, get really weird. Get that band from England, Lacuna Coil.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that one.
What kind of music are they considered now?
Oh man, they kind of went all over the map.
I remember them when I was.
They're probably a little more progressive rock than anything.
As I say, I remember.
If any of them were standing here, they would probably stab me in the chest for saying that.
Or they'd just do it because it's metal.
Yeah. But they're from England, so they'd be like, "It's my mate."
Yeah, it's metal.
And they have the female front woman, don't they?
Yeah,
that was their thing.
Yeah, I got to see them down here in Baton Rouge open up for Typo Negative, in 2002. That was a cool show.
I just heard Typo Negative and didn't care about anything else he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly.
Typo Negative is the shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they described I think the thing with Typo Negative is that they're just the Doors.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is.
Like, yes, finally, we have the resurrection.
Okay.
It's all been waiting for.
Yeah, that guy is definitely Jim Morrison.
I mean, if Jim Morrison, did a lot more eyeliner.
Yeah.
We're all going to take it however we can get it, right?
All right. So
eyeliner to the stage with a bucket. Yeah.
So I'm always fascinated with the how does music fit into your life? I know podcasts kind of took over a lot of people's lives a couple years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, podcasts do take over. But with me, it's how I get through running in the morning. All of the junk that they play at the gym is just top 40 garbage, so I can't really listen to it. So my headphones will be like turned all the way up while I'm working out and everything. Even during the day while I'm at work,
Liz,
it's like podcast and then switch over to Pandora for a couple of hours and then go back to the podcast and stuff. So it's
nice.
It's always there.
He's acting like there's more than one volume setting on your headphones.
Yes, I know.
But these all go to 11.
Right, exactly.
There's just the one number.
All the way up, right?
Yeah, all the way.
All the way.
Max.
Yeah, that was honestly part of the reason I started the podcast, was just so I could listen to music more. It forced me to do it.
Yeah, because at that point, it's kind of your thing, your job. So.
Yeah, I can pretend it's a job, like I make money doing this.
Sure. Because all those millions of dollars that we get, right? From the Rothschilds.
Right.
Like it's not just a constant time and money suck.
Yeah.
That I love doing.
I was gonna say there's fringe benefits. It's that whole valuation.
That is basically the way, like, me and Liz, anytime we've talked about like how the podcast is doing and like it's a time to hang it up, I'm like, but look, Liz, I know that I don't make any money and it costs us a bunch of money, but I got to talk to Bob Murphy.
Yeah.
That's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I would have no reason to do that otherwise.
Yeah, with me, this is just, I'm going to do it regardless, even if it's, costing me hundreds of dollars or whatever. But yeah, it's like the little moments where it's like, oh, I sold a t-shirt? Really? Cool.
Nice.
Nice. Very cool.
Hey, I got to have a conversation with Mance Raider.
Yep.
Or Pete, as he goes by now.
Yeah, or Pete.
I'm never going to be okay calling him Pete.
Weird.
Pete is just not the kind of name that guy deserves.
Even in that episode that I did with him, I like goofed up and called him Mance a couple of times in there. So
I mean, he's going to get that for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. And what are you thinking? What is your favorite music to listen to at the gym? Do you have like a CD? I don't particularly like Avenged Sevenfold, but their City of Evil album was really awesome to lift weights to back in the day.
Yeah, that'll get you going. And CD player, wow, you're really dating me there. Can you imagine walking into the gym with a Walkman?
That would be so awesome.
I mean, I was
all contrarian and get a Zune.
I remember when I had a Zune too. That happened shortly after the CD player.
I've had several. It's all good.
It's how we used to do it in the early 2000s at the gym.
Yeah.
We didn't know any better. Yeah, that's all it was.
That was because there was no other option.
So working out music, Hatebreed.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll definitely lift some weights on that. Don't listen to Hatebreed while you drive because you'll tend to speed.
I was going to say skip your pre-workout that day.
Right.
And then sometimes you'll be on the deadlift, and then you'll just catch yourself singing "Destroy Everything," and then people be looking at you weird.
So funny.
Well, I like people looking at me weird, so at least that part is useful.
Yeah, and I wear libertarian shirts to the gym, so if you've noticed me, you read something.
I see. So you're already attracting attention to yourself.
Yeah.
What do your lifting shirts say?
Let's see. I got the taxation is theft. Got another one that says libertarian because government shouldn't control your life. That one actually started a conversation with somebody because they didn't exactly know what I meant by that. And then got another one that's got like the hands making the sex thing with the finger going inside the ring finger, and it says your feelings underneath.
Oh, I'm sure that starts conversations.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a Ben Shapiro fan.
And then the other one is the LP Mises Caucus that I got down at the National Convention, the one that says "In the Fed" with the Bitcoin symbol, with the disobey on the back. That one actually, I was at a running event at the Baton Rouge Zoo, and I go kind of get into the line, and then all of a sudden I get somebody tugging at my shirt. I turn around, it's Dr. Walter Block.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Score.
I wanted to know where I got the shirt. I said, man, you are everywhere.
That is actually pretty amazing, though. Just run into Walter Block is just the thing that happens.
Right.
It was like the last thing I would have expected to happen that day, and it happened.
Yeah. So what kind of running? You know, like the 5K thing?
Yeah, it's mostly a 5K that I'll do. Just during the week, I'll just run for about 30 to 45 minutes every other morning.
Okay. Was there a reason?
Just two.
Nice.
Was there a time when you didn't?
Yeah, when I weighed about 375 pounds.
You might not know this, but actually deep inside of Mr. Nicky P over here beats the heart of a runner.
That beats the heart of a runner.
Yeah, he actually went to school on a cross country scholarship, believe it or not.
Oh, it's like serious running.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, and then that torn Achilles.
Yep. But there you go. Now you know other people who run.
Well, no. What's more important is I know somebody else who runs that has also been a 375-pound man.
Well, that's
actually almost more important.
That seems to be the trick, doesn't it?
Like, you got to be a runner and have been 375 pounds in your life at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm currently there trying to work my way down. So.
It's definitely hard work. I think I gave up smoking a lot easier.
Oh, jeez.
That'll kind of put it in perspective.
Good to know.
I don't know. Smoking seems like it should be easy to give up. It tastes like assholes and doesn't really do anything to you.
Yeah.
That was always my beef with cigarettes. Like, if I'm not going to get high, why am I going to waste my time? Like,
you do kind of get high with it.
No.
Smoke get a little lightheaded. Hands start shaking.
Look, lightheaded is not the same as being high. Maybe if we were all in high school, I guess I could maybe get into it.
That's about the high that you get from like a Excedrin migraine. Yeah.
I was going to say, I could probably just, go and drink a Monster and get about the same buzz.
Drink 1 cup of Death Wish coffee. Jesus.
How is it? I've never actually had it. It sounds good.
It tastes like a pretty good, decent cup of coffee. It's just there is so much caffeine in there.
Oh.
Well, you know what you need to do?
I'm one of those types that doesn't really get affected by it too much, but that I like drink 1 cup and I said, no, I think I'm good here.
Oh, man.
Fancy. Yeah, we were talking about getting a 5-pound bag of the Rothbard roast from Anarcho Coffee today.
Stuff.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I was considering getting a bag, so I just wanted to wait until I heard some more reviews.
Oh, it's
of
fantastic!
It's so smooth.
It is really smooth. We've only had the one type right now, but I'll stick with something as long as I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
No need to fuck up the equation.
Yeah, coffee is just definitely one of those free market wins there, because now you can pretty much have your choice. It's all available. Back in the day, you had your choice between Folgers and Maxwell's House.
Oh, God.
Both tasted like they were filtered through jock straps.
Basically, yeah.
I'm curious why you know what jock straps taste like, but we can move along.
Look, I was in the Army. We did weird shit.
Well, this actually probably transitions nicely into. So, do you have any songs that you have a strong memory attached to? I don't want to say it's attached to why you know what jock straps taste like, but.
All right, so Trapped Under Ice, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. My older brother was one of those guys who would just listen to like hair metal back in the 80s. And then one day his friend came over with a vinyl album, put it on the record player, and started with that song.
Oh, wow.
And, me as a little itty bitty kid, I was like, oh, no, this is what I'm listening to from now on.
Aww.
I think we wore that record down pretty good. That thing was just filled with scratches and it would skip once it got to the Call of Cthulhu and everything. So it was a well-used record.
And you're still a metalhead. That's so awesome.
It's adorable.
That's just terrible.
I like it.
Formative moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
So have you gotten to see any of those bands live?
I did. In 1991, we snuck out of junior high. We went to the Astro Arena in Houston, and we saw Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Faith No More play.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a heck of a show.
Yeah, if only we could get Guns N' Roses off of it.
Yeah, they were terrible. So it was one of those that we kind of just arrived. We had no tickets, and we just kind of snuck in. And we just kind of stood all the way at the back, and we figured, well, no one's going to look for kids in the back. And then right about the time when Faith No More finished up Epic, that's when a security guard found us and booted us out.
I was going to ask if that was pre or post Pat and Faith No More. Because nothing will remind you how not good of a vocalist what's his name is?
Yeah, other guy.
Quicker than Mike Patton.
Yeah.
Oh, who the fuck was that piece of shit singing for Guns N' Roses?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that noise.
This is Mike Patton. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, and now Axl Rose is back, but he kind of looks like the old lady from Throw Mama from the Train and the Goonies.
It's so weird.
Have you seen pictures of this? I was looking, I was like, wow, what the hell did you do, Axl?
Why do all these 80s...
I was like, oh yeah, all the drugs back in the 80s.
Right, yeah.
I catch up to you.
And then all the 80s rock guys become like little old ladies. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the key is he's not a little old lady. I mean, Axl
was quite a large lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's stout.
Ah, I see. I guess I haven't seen enough of the right picture.
I promise you don't want to.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that Patton Oswalt bit that he does of Axl Rose coming back at like a Video Music Awards, and he's got to run out to the middle of the stage to start singing "Welcome to the Jungle," and he gets winded.
Oh God,
that's accurate.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say no. I've actually, didn't actually. See, and I'll hate Axl forever for no other reason than talking shit on the Eagles of death metal.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he called them
Axl,
the pigeons of shit metal.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
As they were opening up for him.
Yeah, Axl is one of those. He also, after James Hetfield set fire to his face at one of the concerts, he just decided to stop playing. And I think it was like Toronto or Montreal. They decided to riot because of it. So,
yeah.
I want to riot. I've never started a riot, Liz. Have you?
No, I haven't. Is that
okay.
on somebody's list somewhere? Bucket list.
Is that one of the words that you can't say on TV? Riot?
Probably. You can't say any of the good words.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any word you can say on TV anymore? Goodness. You're not even allowed to smile, apparently.
Yeah, you'll be guilty of committing face crime. And it's the one word that they are allowed to say is problematic.
Problematic. Patriarchy.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, what happened to the left? Why did they all go crazy?
I don't know. I don't understand. Well, I know not everybody, but there's just a bunch of very vocal crazies that we keep seeing over and over again. I feel like.
I don't know. I feel like they just keep multiplying.
Yeah, they just kind of show up everywhere. Thaddeus Russell has a very good term for them. He calls them neo-Puritans.
Yeah. Good Lord, Thaddeus Russell. What's Thaddeus up to these days? You still listen to Thaddeus?
I don't actually listen to his podcast, but anytime that he's on like Joe Rogan or somebody else's podcast, I'll kind of listen. And some of the stuff he's fine with, and then I'll look at his Twitter account, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, I quit Thaddeus after he split with last week's guest, Brett Venat, in the School Sucks program.
Yeah, how could you hate Brett Venat?
I don't. Brett's amazing. He was a great guest.
He's like the nicest guy ever. Why would you hate him?
Look, I'm not putting any words in his mouth saying anybody hates anybody. I'm going to be honest. I think that Thaddeus is an arrogant prick that just doesn't give a shit about anybody else personally. As evidenced in his interviews with people. I also think he has really, really weird feelings about black people.
I did get a little of that vibe listening to his book, but it would be awesome to talk to him about it someday and really get the story from the horse's mouth. I like to give everybody a fair shake.
I'll hold a grudge till I die. Eric's like, I'd like to talk to Thaddeus on my show. That'd be fun.
Right?
Let's not trash him too much, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to burn the bridge completely.
Oh, I'll set the whole fucking
Maybe
building.
tinge the edges a little
I will
bit.
set the goddamn county on fire if I want to.
Yeah, down here in Louisiana, it's parishes, which apparently will confuse people, and then you'll be called a church shooter if you shoot somebody in your house.
Oh, good Lord.
I saw that little news story today. I was like, church shooter? I didn't hear about any church shooting. And then you read the story, it's like, oh no, it's in his house. But they heard the word parish, and I guess thought they meant a church.
Yeah, y'all Southerners are weird.
It's called the Bible Belt. They
I don't
deal
understand the whole thing. It is what it is.
Yeah, Louisianians are the weirdest of the bunch. So,
because you've got like Bible Belt and voodoo. Is that what it is?
yeah, there's voodoo down here, Bible thumpers everywhere you go, and then you'll get the status worshipers. So, living in the city of Baton Rouge, it's everything kind of revolves around what goes on in the Senate and representative chambers.
Gonna be on through, gonna send my love down to Baton Rouge. Hurry up, let's put her on the line. Sorry.
Pause for Garth Brooks
when
moment.
the Garth takes you just gotta run with it.
That's the spirit of Garth Brooks. I like that.
Oh, God.
Have you seen his Instagram videos? It's so weird.
What's that?
Yeah, he's been forced to do social media now.
Oh, God.
And you could tell watching his Instagram videos, it's like, I don't want to be here.
Right.
I feel like that's most of his career, though.
Chris Gaines. That's all I have to say.
I know.
Ever.
Jeez.
Please don't forget about Chris Gaines, people. It happened. It was real.
Hashtag never forget.
Hey, you ain't joking there. So, anyways.
So we're going to start dumping on Garth Brooks now?
No.
I mean,
no.
I think,
I love Chris Gaines. You guys don't understand.
I don't think I would have admitted that out loud.
That was my favorite Garth Brooks moments. I was like, finally.
He's just showing everyone how crazy he is.
Look. She was raised and like
Look at him. He
homeschooled.
photoshopped off his double chin. There's no Photoshop around.
He's got that flippy emo hair.
Like we may have invented Photoshop to get rid of his double chin for that album.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of tape on his face,
It's
pulling the jowls back.
It's impressive that they thought that was good. Did they think that was going to work? Was he just trolling? Was that like the first big celebrity trolling thing?
I think what it really is that he hated being a country musician, and he just wanted to do anything else, and that's what he chose.
Fair enough.
Just to say that you could, I guess.
I guess.
Imagine being the makeup artist for that cover.
Oh,
it's
God.
like, wait, you want to do what?
I'm sorry. What, boy band? You want me to make you look like this guy? Oh, okay. This guy's
Like,
20.
You
Okay.
realize you have a receding hairline.
Never mind.
But hey, let's flip it. We'll flip the script and say, look what they did to Justin Timberlake.
Oh, God.
Somehow they turned Justin Timberlake from Justin Timberlake into something that men respect. I'm
Yes.
still amazed at his marketing team for that.
I love me some Justin Timberlake.
I was watching the Super Bowl, and he's part of the halftime show and everything. I was like, is he honestly wearing Realtree camo suit? What is this?
Yep, that's right.
And I was not even distracted by his crappy music. It was just, I was like, oh look, he can dance.
That's awful.
Like he got dudes in tap out shirts to like get on board with him.
Yeah, no, he's.
I'm still not. I don't know how they did that.
Wow, that was a deep cut.
That's
Tap
right.
out shirts.
That's
Right.
like social proof.
Do you even lift, bro?
No, not anymore. I want to start. I want to
You should lift.
start hitting the gym,
This guy gets
hitting
it.
my kid, whatever.
What? No.
I'm just hitting things.
Oh my God. All right. Moving right
You,
along.
you can lift without juicing. Just say,
They're not one and the same.
I used to take pre-workout back in the day when I did lift.
You went all the way to roid range.
Let's just say that month on pre-workout, I got talked to a lot, very, very quizzically at the gym.
Oh my God.
I apparently am not supposed to have that kind of like caffeine level running through my system,
yeah.
considering I drink enough of caffeine already. So basically, it was just like, dude,
It's okay.
Are you gonna be okay? Like, you're scaring people.
That's awful.
You're talking really fast, and you're in our personal space while you talk.
Like,
Oh my God.
you just chucked the weights across the room and like punched something. There's nobody around. Why did you do that? Is your inner monologue that frightening? If only they knew my inner monologue is in fact that frightening.
Oh God.
So, all right, sweetie, where are we at here? Moving right along.
Yeah, we are. We. I think we're down to it, honestly.
We're down to the big question.
Yeah.
Oh, the big question.
Oh no, well, we're gonna postpone this for just a little bit. So, if Ron Paul had a spirit animal and it was a song, what color would it be?
All right. Ron Paul had a spirit animal, and it was a song. What color would it be? Hey.
He's like, this is the
I want
most.
to make sure I got all the adjectives correct. Spirit
I should
animal.
just warn you. Nick just got back on keto. I don't know if everything's running at normal capacity.
It's entirely
That's just
possible
the
it's
thing.
not.
Being ketogenic, the brain runs really awesome off of ketones.
Well, it's only been a couple days
Yeah,
back.
he's still in transition.
This could be the quote unquote toxins releasing.
Look, if anybody comes up to you and says you've got toxins in your body to release, run. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They're gonna sell you essential oils, and then
Well, they're either
everything will
selling
be
you
fine.
essential oils or they're going to say, take the thetan test. Either
Oh,
way.
just come and hold the cans for us.
Oh God!
Give me $4,000.
Do they really still do that?
What?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they would have gotten fancy new tech or something to make it more.
No.
That, they also own a crap ton of empty buildings that nobody occupies.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. They were talking about it the other day on the Friends Against Government podcast. And I was like super bummed that they didn't talk about why they get away with so much. It's because, they spend so much money on the Los Angeles Police Department or wherever it is that they don't touch them.
I see.
Yeah, there's members of the Los Angeles Police Department who are Scientologists. So
Well, there you go.
I think that's probably the only organization I dislike more than the state. And it's because it's like
Tom Cruise in particular.
I don't know about Tom Cruise in particular. John Travolta in particular for me, but
Yeah.
like John Travolta, I feel like you could kind of maybe think that he's normal, but there's no doubting that Tom Cruise is a lunatic.
He wasn't hiding anything very well.
Yeah, there was I think it was like 10 years ago, like some construction company kind of outed all the stuff that they had put onto Tom Cruise's house. There's like $5 million to Xenu-proof his house. And they had to do all like this extra construction on his roof and everything. It's so bizarre. Of course, they took his money because...
Right.
Why not?
Of course I'll do whatever that thing was you said. Give me the money. Thank you.
Yeah, millions of dollars, whatever.
That's that free market stuff, right?
Britney Spears needs a spoons player? Okay. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Oh God. Now I'm just thinking of her doing bluegrass. I want this to happen.
No, believe me, you don't.
It couldn't be worse than anything else she's done.
It could be worse than anything she's done. Because there's nothing worse than auto-tune in bluegrass.
Oh God.
Because if we don't get the auto-tune, you don't want to know what she actually sounds like.
Yeah. Probably not very good.
So
that's
either
rough.
of those things does not work without the other.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing bluegrass works for is AC/DC.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
because they have that band Hayseed Dixie,
Love it.
and they do the bluegrass covers of all the AC/DC songs.
What about Steven Seagal's?
I don't know.
Steve Seagulls.
Is that more bluegrass?
They're like Danish or Finnish or some shit. They're the ones like that you'll see online where they're wearing overalls and like no shirts, playing in the garage, like in the barn.
I mean, I feel like that's a lot of bluegrass bands you just described right there.
Yeah, that's like damn near 92% of them.
And also Dexy's Midnight Runners.
And also Dexy's Midnight
Yes.
Runners. Every time I think of Dexy's Midnight Runners, all I can think about is American Dad.
Okay, explain.
Because they make a joke.
Oh, okay. He's ahead of me. He's already on the punchline over there.
Because
I heard it at the gas station the other day, and I was like, just started chuckling.
So the joke goes like you have Francine, and she's like talking about her ideas that she's had, and like she's trying to tell them like to the guys from Dexy's Midnight Runners. So she climbs out of bed and leaves, and so she like leaves. They're like she was on the jet, and like the jet takes off. And it's like, hey, maybe we should write a song about what we just did to, what was her name?
Eileen.
It's a terrible joke. But it's funny as hell.
It's
Because like you have to reach so far to make that joke.
Yeah.
Because you have like it's not even her name.
Joke.
Like her name isn't Eileen, it's Francine, so you have to like that's comedy craft there.
That's what we call an A to F joke.
Did you by chance listen? Speaking of comedy craft, Dave Smith on Bob's show the other day.
Yes, I did. Yeah, just anytime that those two are together.
Yeah,
that's just going to be gold.
As long as they can get that conservative Christian stuff out of the way.
Yes, I know. It's such a moderate.
They both kind of have that streak going on, don't they?
They do now. Dave's one of those atheists that turned all of a sudden.
He had a kid.
Yes.
That changes people.
No, it doesn't. Didn't change me.
Okay.
Don't look at me like that.
That's one of the goals of the atheist is to not pray on their deathbed. Yeah. So
that's pretty hardcore.
I don't know. I'd probably be thinking about getting a blowjob. Just one more. One more before I die, please.
You could put that in your will, couldn't you?
You can put it in your will. It may not happen.
I'm just saying, who
you can put anything in a will,
right?
Who are they going to get to perform that as the breath thing? Is that a right?
Yeah.
Is that like a Christian
part
right?
Of your religion.
It's something.
And your last rites require.
Yeah, my last rites require that I'm being deep throated.
There you go.
Imagine the lawyer having to do the reading of the will.
Oh my god!
He's just going to gloss over it. And he's like, and he shall receive one last blowjob. Wait, what?
Wait,
sorry, what was that you said?
No, here's a good question. Now, do they have to like get that information to anyone you write in that will? Like, say, I want, I don't know, just pick famous person, insert here. Do they have to contact them and say you were written into so and so's will?
I mean, your executor would probably have to do that, or there might be some legal loophole I don't know about because I'm not a lawyer.
Yes.
But
I want J-Lo to deep throat me.
Good
as I'm dead.
Frickin' luck, buddy.
It's ironclad, I swear.
So you're 94. You're about to die.
So, which makes her about 115, right?
They're just going to wheel her old corpse out of the graveyard that they picked her out of.
Oh, God.
And just set her skull there.
So somebody's job is to, like, move her head back and forth.
Yes.
This took a turn.
Her son, who is, like, in his 70s.
Oh, good God. No, it'd have to be the executor. Who would the executor be?
Yeah,
who is this poor man?
Extremely well-paid lawyer, apparently.
You're just gonna look up at the lawyer. Time to earn your paycheck today, boy.
He literally managed. He managed to get J-Lo's body exhumed to perform fellatio on somebody. This is why I need capitalist money. Like this is why we
court
have
order for that. Like the judge is just looking at it like, what?
Yes, I need her body exhumed.
Yeah, this is also an incentive to die before you're 50, right? So.
There you go.
I don't need any more incentives for that.
Yeah, we kind of need them around.
Because even if she's 60, it's not that bad, right?
There you go.
I don't know. How do you think that ass is going to maintain?
She's got money to prop it up. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medical technology and all that,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, she might have put her consciousness into a robot by then. You might be golden.
Yeah. She'll just transfer her consciousness into a cloned younger version of herself, right? Mm-hmm. Is that how that's going to work?
Hopefully.
And you could get in living color, Jenny.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm going to be honest. She wasn't all that great back then.
Oh, that's right.
Back
You've
in the
got
day
that
when she had
mom
weird
bod thing.
teeth. Yeah.
And she needed to be a little bit older. I'm not about like a young girl or it's not my thing.
Fair enough. All right.
So like the movie Enough, J-Lo.
That movie's so bad.
So bad.
Not as bad as Geely. I actually got up and walked out of that
Oh
one.
my God.
Wasn't that the one that she did with Bennifer?
Affleck.
Yeah.
Yes, with Ben Affleck. Yeah. And as soon as it got to it's turkey time, gobble, 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 I got up out of the theater, walked up to the manager. I demand my ticket back.
No, just no.
Why would you subject people to this bullshit?
He's like,
They were
I
in
totally
love,
understand.
guys.
We've got a lot of complaints.
They were in love, and they thought that it would transfer to the screen, and it would be just the
No.
most wonderful thing anybody had ever seen.
No.
It just did
The
not
answer
work
is
out
no.
that way.
All right. So, the big question. If
The big
you
question.
had 5 records to tell people to go out and listen to, what would they be and why?
Okay, well, I would definitely have to do Metallica's Ride the Lightning, because that was the first metal I was exposed to. Let's see. Anything by Black Flag. It's always good. I would have to say Black Label Society, Sonic Brew.
I don't know. I never listened to that one.
Yeah, that's one of the earlier ones.
He's covering a lot more ground than I expected him to cover on this one.
Let's see, that's 3. I got 2 more.
I mean, you got Black Flag, Black Label Society, and Metallica in there?
Yeah. Husker Du, if you can find it.
Ooh.
That's always some good punk music.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like some Husker Du.
Yep. I guess the last one, just for shits and giggles, anything from Pablo Francisco before he got all freaked out on cocaine. Good comedy album to throw in there.
Nice.
That's a bold move. I don't know that anyone has done that yet.
Yeah.
I have not gotten a comedy album yet.
So that's just before the 80s? When did cocaine get big?
Oh, Pablo got to it late. I mean, this is like 2004, 2005.
Oh, fair enough.
In a world.
In a world. Yeah, exactly the perfect time.
Nice.
Have you never listened to old Pablo Francisco?
I'm apparently not hip. I'm gonna find out because I have to look these
They're
things
going to have
up.
to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
The Pablo
We got several dives into the deep pool on this one. So we got reggae version of Megadeth, mashup, rock mashups, and now Pablo Francisco. So there you go.
Nice. Those are awesome. We always look out for those on in interviews. So that's a plus.
That's interesting. Sorry, I'm looking at the audio and it just started looping back on itself. I'm like, oh, great.
Oh, wonderful.
That means I need to go and connect these files now because they're going to be 2 layers.
Well,
Wonderful.
on that note,
Yeah, seriously, on that note.
is there anything that we should plug? I mean, obviously, your awesome podcast. Can you give us the name of that again?
Yep. Rebel with a Cause. You can find it. It's iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all the places. I've been working on trying to get it on Pandora, but their FAQ section's a little wishy-washy on how to submit one. So
Where do you host it at?
Anchor.fm. It wasn't Libsyn, but Anchor is free. So
Fair enough.
Libsyn means I don't have to do any extra work, though.
that is true. With Anchor, you're doing a little bit extra work, but oh well, it's free. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, 2 of our podcasts are on Anchor, and I pay the Libsyn for this one.
This is the
I do not regret it.
flagship. Is that what we'd call it?
I guess it's a flagship
Sure.
until one of the other ones makes me more money.
And then they'll become pirates.
Although technically they already are because they don't cost me as much money.
Well, fair enough.
It's a good thing to think about here.
Mathematically speaking.
But those other podcasts did not get me talking to Bob Murphy.
Right.
Yes,
Economically speaking.
Yeah, if we're just focusing on economics, but what kind of people just focus on economics?
Libertarians.
Like
that's
Austrians or something? I don't know.
Yeah, libertarian.
Anyway.
So whenever we get hit with the question, who would build the roads, and you start going into the economics of voluntarism and everything, and,
Oh, yeah.
and then they start rolling their eyes in the back of their head.
They're like, why did I ask? I didn't want to know this badly.
No, that's not. You see, you've misinterpreted. They're thinking about that blowjob from Robo J-Lo. That's why their eyes rolled back.
Yeah.
It's not what you're talking about.
Eyeball rollback. Full right leg extension.
All right, so Eric Heiler, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
You are actually one of the first people who have ever done it correctly the first time without being told. So, congratulations to you.
Hooray.
I may have studied linguistics a little bit, and that was the only way it made sense to me.
Yeah, I've gotten all kinds of things. And even being down here in Louisiana, I've even gotten the Cajunized version of my name, Hallier. I was like, oh, no, not even close.
That's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, right? You could be like Fancy Pants if you wanted to.
It's going to become Gambit from the X-Men.
Oh, Mr. Hallier.
That's my shit.
Anyways, yeah, you can all check him out on Rebel with a Cause. It is a fantastic show, even if he's only doing it once a week.
Yeah, we're not doing the everyday nonsense again.
I mean, you kind of have to have time.
I'm just curious.
Like,
so what was so
life,
difficult about it? Like, is it the editing? Is it the actual performance?
Well,
is it looking stuff up to talk about?
Yeah, it was just like I wanted to keep them kind of short for that week, just to kind of keep them under 30 minutes, so they weren't going to be too much of a slog. But yeah, afterwards, just trying to edit everything together, make sure you take out any kind of screw ups and everything, and then uploading it, writing out the little show notes page, and then since I'm not on Libsyn anymore, I have to create my own video and put it up on YouTube, which always takes a little bit. But and then just the sheer amount of talking throughout the week, because not only am I talking on the podcast, but at work I talk all day. So
yeah, see, and I don't do that. If it were up to me, I'd never talk to a single human being at work. I just listen to podcasts and ignore everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that's just way too personable with people, so I can just talk.
Well, most of my job is sitting in a truck by myself, so.
Oh, and you don't talk to the steering wheel?
No, I ignore the fuck out of that thing.
Well,
I taped his mouth shut, in fact.
Yeah, the best thing about the steering wheel is you can have an argument with it and you win every time because it never talks back.
This is true.
You say that until you rear end somebody and then he punches you in the face.
Well, you see, I was talking to the steering wheel about who would build the roads.
The steering wheel knows who would build the roads. Same people that do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always a funny question because my dad actually does build roads, and he doesn't.
Same here.
And he doesn't work for the state. So
amazing.
Clearly,
there you go.
It would happen other ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I work for an engineering firm, so who's going to design the road? That's me.
Well, there you go.
All right.
Can I get a private construction company to build it and not point a gun at anybody to pay for it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can figure that out.
Pretty sure we can do that, yeah.
Yeah, Walmart would pay for it.
That's right.
You'd get to Walmart.
Some of the best roads in the world right there. Walmart parking lots.
Yeah, they are too. They're generally well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really thought about it, but
that's why all the truckers sleep there, because Walmart's usually open and it's lit up and it's nice.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's a good thing to keep in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, Eric, it has been a fantastic conversation, and we'd like to thank you for coming on here.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks for asking me to come on. It was a blast. I mean, we got to joke on Garth Brooks, and that's the highlight of my day right there.
That doesn't happen often, I'll be honest. I don't do it very often. So, you take it easy, boss. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
Until you're rolling, until your heart can't bear.